Ladies, thank you, please. I appreciate it. You too. Oh, hey, welcome to Flynn Dog Woodwork. This is Bryan. I've been a chick magnet my entire life, so I'm used to all the attention. But did you know that there's some magnetic items you can buy for your shop that will help you with daily tasks? Today we're going to take a look at 10 items that have magnetic capabilities that I use on a regular basis to help me in the shop. So let's take a look at them. So first up on our list is something that's pretty simple. It's just a magnet. However, it's no ordinary magnet. It's a rare earth magnet. Now, if you've heard anything about these rare earth magnets, they are strong as hell. In fact, my metal plate, they even stick to it, which is great because I can stick things to my metal plate now, which I could never do before.
You know that metal plate in my head?
How can I forget?
I had to have it replaced because every time Catherine revved up the microwave, I'd piss my pants and forget who I was for a half hour or so.
But in all seriousness, let's take a look at these rare earth magnets and see how we can use them in the shop. Now, I purchased these rare earth magnets on Amazon.com, and they were fairly inexpensive, and I'm really pleased with how they work. Inside the box comes 10 magnets, and they come with 10 self-adhesive 3M pads that allow you to stick them to things that aren't necessarily magnetic. So let's open the box and see what's inside. So here are all the magnets that come in the box. Along with that are these 3M double-sided self-adhesive pads that allow you to attach it to non-metallic surfaces. Let me show you how powerful these magnets are. Just like that, it's stuck to this bandsaw. In fact, it's quite hard to get off. So if we take a closer look at the magnet, I can already feel the pressure of the magnet when I'm about 1 inch away from the surface. So inside the bandsaw, I've been collecting all my Allen wrenches that I used to fine-tune this machine at the base of the bandsaw. But now I can simply stick them right to the bandsaw, and I know they'll be there right when I need them. Here's another example of how you could use these magnets. I've got these 1, 2, 3 blocks. And as you can see, it is strong enough to hold these 1, 2, 3 blocks, which are not light in any way, to my actual table saw, and they can be easily grabbed when I need them. So really the use of these magnets is really up to you and your imagination. I did want to show you this close-up of how strong these are. So I'm going to take this magnet and slowly bring it to this group of magnets, and I'll show you how far away it is before they attract each other. And I hope you saw that because that was about 3 to 4 inches away from the magnets. Now, one thing I did want to show you while testing these magnets is they are so powerful that they can't hold their own strength. Now, when I did that little test when I was testing to see how far the magnets could attract from each other, these two magnets actually broke with the weight of their own attraction. So that's something to consider. Once you find a place for these, put it on your tool and leave it there. So even though these magnets can break on their own magnetic attraction, you can see that both pieces are still magnetic, and you can place them together and they still work just as fine. So I love sewing. It's fun, it's exciting, it's all the things that you could dream of if you're really trying to get into the dressmaking industry. Since I love sewing so much, I purchased this Cobb sewing lamp. Now this is a small lamp that's got a magnetic attachment to it that we can hook up to things like our bandsaw, our drill press, and other things where light might not be as perfect as you want it. So let's dig into this box and see what's inside. So inside the box comes with a corded light that's got an on and off switch. On the other side is a magnetic disc that allows you to attach it to anything that's metal. So let's try it out and see how it works on this drill press. So I'm actually really impressed with this one. This provides a lot of light to an area that's pretty dark in my shop. It attaches easily to my drill press, and it's got this nice adjustable neck here where you can move the light anywhere you want. So let's see how it looks on the bandsaw. So here I am over at the bandsaw, and there's really only one complaint I have with this tool. It's got a cord that's about 4 feet long. And over here at my bandsaw, I don't have an outlet that is that close. So I'm going to need to run an extension cord or something else to be able to provide power to this light. So I'm going to do that right now and see how it works. So I finally found an extension cord that would reach to my bandsaw. I've got the foot of the lamp attached to the frame of the bandsaw. And as you can see, I can maneuver this lamp wherever I want it on my bandsaw. Now this magnet is pretty strong, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And this light is more than I need for any cutting I'll be doing over here. So as you may know, I share my shop with a lot of lawn equipment, and all these lawn equipment tools have rubber tires that can easily be popped with a nail or a screw. That's why this next tool comes in real handy. So here I've got what I call my magnetic broom. I use this after any projects where I've used some screws or nails, and 1 or 2 may have gotten away from me. Let me show you how it works. So here I've buried some screws and nails into the sawdust pile. You simply take your magnetic broom and you run it across the sawdust pile, and you can hear it pick up those screws and nails as you rub it across that surface. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws and nails that I picked up on this broom just by rubbing it over the surface of the sawdust pile. So I love dogs. I love dogs so much that I would love to breed them if I could.
One time, we successfully mated a bulldog with a Shih Tzu.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, we called it a bullshit.
That's why the next thing on my list are these magnetic dog bowls. Let's take a look inside the package and see how we can use these. So inside the package comes these 3 bowls. Each one of these bowls has got a rubber bottom that allows you to put it on things like your table saw table that won't scar it up. It looks like it comes with a 2-inch, a 3-inch, and potentially maybe a 5-inch bowl. When I place it on the table saw, I can feel the attraction of the magnets to the table saw, so it actually gives a little bit of support as you place your bowl onto any magnetic surface. Now let's add some screws to this and see how it contains those screws. So let's take a look at the big one for demonstration purposes. Now I grabbed a handful of screws and I'm going to dump them into this tray. Now that's about as much screws as I think I would use at one time when doing a project. If I hold it upside down, you can see that the screws are staying inside the bowl, which is awesome. Now this isn't perfect, but it does allow some security to know that your screws will be safely contained in one of these bowls while you're working on your projects. Now if you've seen my shop tour video, you know that my shop's a flippin' mess. I got things laying all over tables everywhere in my shop. That's why I got this next tool. So let's take a look and see what's inside this box. So as you can see from the surface of one of my benches, I've got stuff lined up all over it. And this doesn't give me a workspace to be able to build projects on. So that's why I got this 2-foot magnetic tool holder. Let's take it out of the box and see what comes with it. So inside the box is this very sturdy magnetic tool holder. So my thought for this magnetic tool rack was that I would install it right on the base of my bench, and then I could place all the tools that I reach for on a regular basis right here so they can be easily grabbed when they're needed and placed back when they're finished. So let's install this and see how well it works. So I already have to register one complaint about this rack. It comes with 2 flathead screws to mount the rack. We're going to switch these out with some regular screws. Alright, I can already tell it's pretty magnetic because it was picking up some screws as I was mounting it. So now let's test the strength of this rack. It's got quite a bit of magnetic strength, so I'm pretty pleased with that. But let me see if I can find a really heavy wrench. Has no problem with that either. So I think this will get some use in my shop. Alright folks, so the next thing on my list is something that I absolutely use on every single project that I make. No joke. So let's take a look at this and I'll show you what it is. Alright, so this is a 9-foot tape measure. Now you may be thinking this is too small for me. But think about it. How often do you measure over 9 feet when completing your projects? I know I don't go over 9 feet that often, so this is just the right size for me. But the really nice thing about this tape measure is that it's got a magnetic button on the back that allows you to attach it to things like your table saw. Therefore, it's easy to grab if you need to measure something really quickly or make a small adjustment on the fly. Alright folks, let's take a look at our next magnetic item and see how we can take it to the next level. So maybe I'm an idiot or I'm just not that smart, but I had no idea that a lot of levels like this one here have a magnetic base to them. Now this is great when setting up tools like this jointer here, and you need to make sure that both of the arms are coplanar with each other. I use this all the time for tool setup, whether it's with my jointer or my planer, just to make sure that both sides are exactly even and provide the cuts that I need with those tools. By having a magnetic base, it pulls the level to the tool and allows you to easily see if there's any light that gets through the bottom of the level. So this creates a lot more precision and gives you the confidence knowing that your tool is properly set up. Alright folks, let's switch it up a little bit for our next item and see how the mag switch can be used in a variety of different ways within our workshop. Let's take a look. So mag switches can come in a variety of different sizes and shapes. I personally like to use mag switches that are at least 90 pounds or higher. This gives you enough strength to know that the mag switch is not going to move on you. Now this mag switch here is rated at 165 pounds of pressure. Now this mag switch I mainly use at my table saw when creating a stop block when I'm using my miter. I'll show you exactly how that works. So when using your miter gauge, you never want to push your actual workpiece against the table saw fence and push your miter gauge through the table saw. When you do this, it creates a situation where the blade of your table saw and the fence can be pinched together and create kickback. To remedy this problem, you can use things like this mag switch and place it against your fence, turn the switch on, and then rest your workpiece against the mag switch. Now you can easily and safely push your workpiece through the table saw blade and not create a situation where kickback can occur. If you've seen one of my most recent videos, you know that I use mag switches to create a jig that will allow me to secure my stock guide to my table saw fence without actually drilling into the table saw fence itself. This was a very easy jig to make, and I'm super impressed with how well it works. As you can see from this featherboard, this also incorporates mag switches that allows you to place your featherboard anywhere on the table saw and give your workpiece the support that it needs. Now the next thing on my list is something that I reviewed a few weeks back on one of my previous videos, and that's this mag band. Now this thing is ugly as all get out, but it is something you could use while you're wandering around the shop with screws, nails, bits, or anything else that you're afraid you're going to lose, and you know it's right there on your wrist. Now that I've taken a look at these magnetic bowls though, I think this is the way I'm going to go from here on out. If you remember from one of my previous videos, I envision using this mag band when I'm using pocket hole screws. Now this mag band can hold about 15 to 20 pocket hole screws at one time. I will have to say that I am impressed with the magnetic capability of this mag band, as it will hold things like this large wrench easily and it won't come off as you move your arm around. Alright, so we're down to our last item, and our last item is something that I think is an absolute necessity for every shop. And I don't say that about every tool that I review, but for this one, it's something that you need to have if you want to make sure that you get the precise cuts you want on your table saw. So many of you may have already guessed what I'm going to talk about, and that's the table saw angle finder. Now this is one item that I think you should actually go ahead and spend a little bit of extra money on. When I first got one of these, I purchased this one from Home Depot, and this just wasn't accurate enough for me. So I stepped it up and I went to Rockler and I purchased this angle finder from Rockler. Now the way to use this is to zero it out once it's attached to the actual cast iron table, and then you place it on your blade and you find the exact angle that you're looking for. So in this example, I'm at 89.9 degrees, which is just a little bit off. So with a little adjustment, I can get this right at 90 degrees. So that will do us for today. I hope you enjoyed watching these 10 magnetic accessories that will help you in your workshop on a daily basis. I'll leave links in the description for all the tools that we talked about today, so you can check them out for yourself. So I'll see you next time, and thanks again for watching. Well, thanks for joining me today on these 10 magnetic accessories that can improve any shop. I hope you enjoyed going through these items, as I know I enjoyed showing them to you. If you haven't already, I'd love to get your subscription, and leave a like if you get a chance. Also hit that notification bell so you can be informed of when future videos come out. Thanks again, and take care as always.